Okay, Happy New Year, everybody. And of course, we're starting the new year off. Yesterday on Thursday, Dow up over 300 points. And the first 5 days, if they're up, that bodes well for the year. And of course, even more so if the first month is up. Now, I think we may have some problems with that. The markets are very stretched here, very overbought at this time, and we're still right at that key point. I've been tracking this for months now with this megaphone pattern. We're breaking out of it a little bit, but not quite enough to be more than a normal overthrow. But we have this channel in the Dow that we're hitting really very close right on Thursday afternoon here, just a little over 28,800. So if it can break much above that, it is likely to keep melting up into the next month or so, and then we'll see, do we hit that NASDAQ 10,000 target that I've had since early 2019, when last year opened up with the first week up and the first month up after a scary correction. Well, we didn't have the scary correction this time, but we still might. So we're still at this point where if we don't break up much above here, we could start to correct. And if we get more than a minor correction, and especially if we break below 26,300 of the Dow, now that would take something here, then we could be going into this megaphone downturn that still is not likely a top, but could scare everybody before we make one more run into 2020 and peak. So we're still in this, could go either way. January is an important month as usual, but remember what I said on Monday in Economy and Markets, this whole repo crisis. Remember mid-September, $60 billion the Fed had to insert to keep overnight interest rates from going up for large banks funding small banks to handle, imbalances overnight. And why would they suddenly stop lending and do that? Well, because they're probably getting scared about credit risk even overnight. And remember, the Fed tapered starting in late 2014 against the trends of other countries like Japan and Europe. And that took reserves out of the system, so there's less reserves, and even these big banks have less to lend. But I think even more so, they're thinking, wouldn't we rather just collect that 1.55% from the Fed rather than 1.7 or 8, slightly higher, lending to these banks overnight? So again, it's $380 billion as of mid-December, and I'm telling you now that is well over $400 billion already. It's going up at $190 billion a month. So this is getting crazy, and this is reversing the entire tapering of the Fed starting years ago. And they're doing under this excuse, it doesn't matter that much, it's just repo short term. No, this is an excuse for them to reverse a policy that did not work. Everybody keeps thinking, after all this stimulus, we can back off and the economy will be just fine. No, it's not fine. This economy can never survive since 2009 bottom without endless quantitative easing. And that's being proven again and again and again. So we're at a very important moment. And I think this month will tell a lot. I mean, if we just get a small correction, which is really overdue here in the next week or so, okay, that's okay. But if January ends up down, that is not okay as much. And if we start to see that break at 26,300 or something, then we know that we're going to have a deeper downturn. But I'm still warning, since we did not hit our targets in early 2019 of 10,000 on the NASDAQ right around year end here, although we've done very, very well. I would be surprised if this were a top here, because it would not make sense for the NASDAQ with this long rally over now, 10, 11 years going on, not to hit the top end logarithmic or exponential trend line that we've been looking for. So if we do back off more strongly, we're more likely to scare the markets and get stronger stimulus for Trump and then go and make one more run into early to mid next year or later. And again, we have the Trump wildcard scenario. So all of this stuff is still in play. Right now, you have to favor the fact that the markets are going to keep melting up. And again, with over $400 billion of extra money coming into financial markets, why wouldn't markets go up with no good news I mean, earnings forecasts are slower, not faster. Economic growth by most forecasts is going to be slower or just okay at best. So there's no good news out there. Trump, the impeachment process moves on, but markets don't care. Markets get more crack, they go up. So we'll keep you updated. But again, keep watching what we're saying. This is going to be an important month. Whether we go up substantially more, that could bring us into the beginning of a topping process. But if we go down, it could go a number of ways, and we're going to keep on top of it. So again, keep listening. And this will not be a boring year. And I can guarantee you there will be more volatility in the markets up and down.